Welcome back, everybody. As you can probably guess from the title of the video and the thumbnail, we are going over this cooler here today. We're going to test it, review it, those sorts of things. Some of you may be asking, Mike, why are you talking about coolers? Why are you reviewing a cooler? Well, we've done a bunch of cooler tests and reviews over the years, and it turns out those are some of the videos that bring in the most new subscribers. So it turns out there's a crossover, if you will, between folks who are into coolers and folks who are into guns and gear. So that's one reason we do it. Additionally, because I think it is part of a survival plan or a preparedness plan. Every year I do a video on preparedness, general preparedness. This year's video is coming in a couple weeks, and a cooler is a great part of that, in my opinion. So last year we had a power outage at the house that I rent, and my tenant, obviously without power for their refrigerator, had no ability to, keep their food cool. So I actually brought them over a Roto-Molded cooler, which is what this is, and it kept their food cool for, I think it was 2 days is all it turned out to be, and then the power came back on. But just that, basic level of preparedness kept their food cool, saved them probably hundreds of dollars, and everything was good and there were no issues, right? So having something like this on hand that can keep something cool for a long period of time is a great idea just for general preparedness. But if you have specific uses for it, well, then it's even more important. So what we're going to do here is we are going to fill this thing up with ice, and then we're just going to leave it out in the hot Carolina sun. And it was hot during this test, hot. And we're going to leave it out in the sun and see how long it can hold the ice. But before we get into that part of the test, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Arms Directory. For folks that haven't used their website, you haven't seen me posting over there because I post over there every day. Basically, it is an online social media network that has a specific marketplace for guns and gun-related items. There is no, rules or anything, prohibitions like there is on a lot of other social media sites about what you can share over there if it's Pro 2A related. And it's not just for 2A folks, it's for everyone. Again, social media network and marketplace. So thank you to them. Now let's see how much ice this thing can retain and for how long. I just went out and bought the ice for this. I bought it about 3 hours ago. You guys can probably see there on my watch. Today is Friday the 5th at 1941. We're going to put this beer in there, and then we're going to watch the progression and see how long it holds up. Oh no. See you in 24 hours. Not sure if y'all can see there on my watch, but it is the 6th and it is 8 o'clock Eastern time. So we're going to check it. It's been a day and it was hot today. It was 106, I think, was the hottest that I saw in the shade, according to our thermometer here. And this position, again, is in the sun for most of that time. You guys can see it went down a little bit, but not much. We're going to close it back up. We'll see you in 24 hours. Might be tough for you guys to see, but it's 2200, which is 10 p.m. on Sunday the 7th. And it was hot today, smoking hot. I was out of the range, and my car said it was 117 degrees on the range. So that probably means it's about 5 degrees cooler here. We had a good bit of ice loss, and I understand why. Like I said, it was very, very hot today, and basically 100% humidity. It was a gnarly day, but still going. As you guys can hopefully see from my watch there, it is the 8th. It's almost 8 p.m. And that's what we had there. Today was right at 100, very high humidity, and that's what we're down to in terms of ice. But we'll close it up and see you guys in 24 hours. Not surprisingly, yes, that is a helicopter hovering above me. It is an Apache. Makes you think you're going crazy sometimes. As y'all can see, it is the 9th. It was up to 107 today. Again, full sun, humidity, rough days for a cooler, and that is where we're at. I have no idea if the camera can see it or not, but as you can see, it is the 10th, and it is 8 p.m. out here today. It only got to about 99. I don't think we crossed the triple-digit mark that I saw, but again, 100% humidity out here in this thing, soaking up the sun in this position, so difficult test continues. I just laugh at how hard it is for it. But as you guys can see, that water line has risen, but we still have plenty of ice on the sides as well. And I'm headed out of town here shortly, so hopefully this thing, the ice melts, but if not, hey, who knows? Let's keep going. As you guys can see, we are back on the 11th at I just finished working out. It was about mid-90s today, very high humidity, and I'm leaving town tomorrow, so, you know, I might have to close this one out with ice in it. We shall see. Still ice in it, so it's definitely going to go at least 2 more days. Well, like I said, I'm leaving town tomorrow. I will do an update before I leave, but it won't be this late at night. Anyway, close it back up and keep it going. As promised, it's the next day. I'm about to head out on the road. It's 243 for normal people who haven't been indoctrinated by the government. And why is that not opening? It's sticky. Okay, something weird is going on. Maybe it's sealed something. There we go. Yeah, we did have some sort of seal going on there. Maybe from the rain we had overnight. But you guys can see there, still plenty of ice. A good chunk of that is all together. This thing's going to go for days. So what I'm going to do, we have people who work for us here. And they'll be around the house over the next few days. So I'm going to have them try to get a picture of it and send it to me with a date. That's kind of the best I can do. But that's only because this thing's doing so well. As I stated before heading out of town, we did have people here at the house that did check on this. They took photos at 8 o'clock every night and sent it to me. So the ice lasted 2 more days. So again, very impressive, particularly because it was so hot. Anyway, getting into the actual cooler itself, I don't think I mentioned it earlier, is a 110 quart wheeled model. The actual cooler itself weighs in the mid 40s in terms of weight, and that is with nothing in it. In terms of storage, in terms of like 12 ounce cans, if you use a 2-to-1 ratio of ice, you can fit about 95 cans in there. So it's pretty large in terms of volume. And I think it took 19 bags of ice to actually fill this thing up. So it is a lot of ice that you can actually stick in there. So getting into the details on it here, on top, it may be hard to see on camera, but the actual top here has a sort of roughed up surface versus the rest of it that's kind of shiny and reflective. And that is to make it so that folks don't slip if you stand on it, which they probably don't recommend for legal reasons, but it does make it a little bit more secure. And then like if you're at a campsite, you put plates on it or things like that, it's not going to move around as easily in the wind or whatever conditions may be out there. One thing they've improved on versus their earlier versions, I think this is my 3rd blue coolers that I reviewed, is their opening system rather, and locking system. So previously they used the same kind of like pull system that all of the big Roto-Molded coolers used. This is definitely an improvement. So it is, number one, easier to operate just like that. Gives you a nice tight seal every time. It also gives you an additional tie down point on each side. So definitely good in every way. I see no downsides to it at all. Just for whatever reason, if these ever do fail on you, or really any part on this fails on you, blue coolers will just send you a new one. So there is that. I've not had them fail though. Just know that going into it. I should also add that they're held in place by these steel rods that run the length, and the same will be true here on the back. So very durable in that regard. Opening it up, you'll see that around the actual top or lid of the cooler, we have a sealer all the way around, very similar to what you see in a lot of like commercial freezers. And then we have this raised level here on the top, which connects to that, and it gives you a very good tight seal, which is obviously needed if you're going to have ice that lasts for as long as the ice out there lasted, as you guys saw. They do offer a light. It's available separately for purchase. I have reviewed it in previous cooler reviews, and you can stick it on here, and that way it illuminates everything at night. It is a nice feature. Over here, we do have our beer, or I guess any kind of bottle opening cap, but who opens anything but beer? And of course, these are stainless as well. This had a little bit of rust on it. I should mention that. I've had this cooler in since I think it was April 1st is when it arrived, and we've had it again. Today's date is the 4th of September. It's been outside in the conditions the entire time just to test the durability of it. We've used it for several occasions. We've had a couple weddings out here. As you can imagine, if you live on a lake, people want to come by our house a lot. So there's a lot of events that we have here at the property, and it's gotten plenty of use. So we definitely have some wear on it, and we can tell you all about it. Here we have our pressure release valve. Think about it, right? If you're out camping and in the mountains and you come back down to lower elevations, this lid will be very difficult to open. Just press that, and there's a little hole in the inside here, and it releases that pressure, and it will be much easier to open. So that is a new thing that they have put on their coolers. I do like it. I am a fan. As we already sort of showed, but a closer up view here, just to lock it down, is like that. Opening it up, we will also reveal additional tie-down points. These here do not obviously get into anything that's in the cooler portion of it, so it doesn't affect storage in any way. But again, additional tie-down points, and it's also where you're going to grab it as a handle to actually carry it. That said, you're probably not going to carry this one a ton just because of the size of it, and it is pretty heavy when it's full, so you're probably going to want to utilize this, and this is going to be what you're going to use to roll it. Obviously, you can see it goes flat down, has these padded portions here on the end, and then of course all black oxide finish there, and we have no rust or corrosion. And again, this thing has been out in the elements for months. Now we're on the other side of the cooler itself. Here is where we have our drainage plug. The one thing I wish they would do, and I don't know why they don't, there's probably a reason, and they're probably smarter than me, is have some sort of retention device on this, like a chain or something that goes into there, because I can just see that getting lost. Maybe it's the old soldier in me, but it's true. Our wheels here are beefed up over the previous version, which of course was much smaller, and we need to basically double it in size. You're going to need beefier wheels. They definitely did that, and they're very rugged, durable, no issues with that. Both sides of it, whether it be the bottle opener side or the other side, are lockable, and they claim that it's bear proof. I've seen bears do some pretty crazy stuff. I guess it would depend on the size of the bear, but if you lock it up there, it's going to be pretty hard for any type of predator to get in there. As I alluded to earlier, it has a stainless steel rod here that goes from here to here, just like in the front, and that is on the rear, of course, is going to be your hinge point, and very durable. Again, if someone was trying to rip that off, it would be extraordinarily difficult. And on the bottom, we have these anti-slip feet, and then of course our actual wheels are sort of rubberized as well. They can move forward, but they will not move side to side very easily. When coupled with these feet, it's not going anywhere. At this point in the video, I think I've covered pretty much everything that is relevant, with the exception of one point, and that is going to be price point. So this one, again, 110 quarter with wheels and all the features that we talked about, is coming in right now MSRP at $399. Of course, there will be a link down below in the video description. There may be various coupons and sales going on as well, so make sure you sign up for my daily deals email. But again, compared to other Roto-Molded coolers out there on the market, is very competitively priced. Obviously, smaller ones are going to cost less, but I don't know of any right now that are 110 quarts that are wheeled like this one. So to my knowledge, as of this day, when I'm recording, it's the only large Roto-Molded cooler out there that has wheels. So if you're going to be dragging this thing around, like you're a soccer mom or something like that, or going to the beach a lot, whatever the case may be, and you want to actually pull it and not have to carry a 100+ pound cooler around, it's a big selling point in my opinion. So wheels on there are huge. Of course, the thick Roto-Molded nature of this versus other Roto-Molded coolers is also a nice thing. Blue coolers, they do, I believe, 2 inches all the way around, where other companies are doing as little as 1 inch. So that leads to what you guys saw in the ice test. It's impressive. The woman who I asked to take those photos, when I told her how long it had been out there, she said, I had no idea coolers could do that. I said, well, a regular cooler that you're going to buy at Walmart can't, but some of these really nice ones like this one absolutely can. As you guys saw, very, very impressive performance. So additionally, I should note that they did send this out for the test. So, but they're not going to see this video before anybody else. They've had no input on anything I've said. So, you know, we had the rust spot. So things happen. That's why we test them. That's why we leave them out in the elements for a good bit of time. So that way we get a good baseline of experience with the products before I bring it to you guys. So with that, that's really all I have. If you like this type of video, we do these. That's what we do. We also do other types of reviews. So if you like it, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, if you are subscribed, check your notification bell, make sure it's on. If you've done that and you're still not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, definitely sign up for my email at the website here on your screen. This email goes out at most once a month, and it has all the videos since the previous month's email went out. So that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content in an algorithm. And additionally, if this thing goes on sale, any of the other stuff that we review here goes on sale, it will go out my daily deals email. If it is in that email, it's the cheapest I know of anywhere on the internet on that particular day. So that way it saves you guys some time, because I've already done the looking and price comparison for you, and hopefully some money as well. that's really all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.